Hi friends, welcome back to the Common Sense Grandma. If you are new, my name is Michelle, and today we have two shopping hauls, one a very small one. They're actually both pretty small. I have my Azure Standard order here. I picked it up yesterday and I haven't even opened anything yet. I wasn't completely out, but almost, of quite a few of these items. And then this is kind of a fill-in grocery pick. I did a pickup today at Walmart. I brought to you, I think it was $207 I had spent at Aldi maybe a week and a half ago. And I'm not out of everything, but I was getting quite low on some things. And I plan on maybe going bigger shopping this Friday. But I really wanted more fresh fruit. We keep our fruit over here, and we are down to just a couple bananas, 2 apples, and 1 mango, and that's it. And we're almost out of lettuce, and we like to have salad as much as possible. So I just did a quick little pickup order, and it came to $51.97 for all of this here, which is not too bad. And then I still have being dropped off today, or shipped I should say, a 5-pound of brown jasmine rice. My husband being Filipino, he grew up on white rice. I grew up on brown rice, but just because of health reasons, we feel like it's better to have brown rice most of the time. There are some times when maybe you're having a curry or something, you want white rice, but we're switching more to brown rice, trying different ones. It seems like the stores around here at least have been low on brown rice. I had to really search for this. I usually buy it by the 25-pound bag, and I haven't been able to find it around here, but we'll go with the 5-pound right now. Anyway, so for all of this, $51.97. And I tried to get organic, as much as I can, but we can't always do organic all the time. It's nice too. But we've got organic tofu. I like to keep tofu on hand. It's just a nice quick meal. I can do scrambled tofu with whatever vegetables we have in the refrigerator, and it's nice. But got to have cilantro that goes in so many things. Avocados. Almost out of, this is actually taco sauce. I actually really like this Taco Bell taco sauce. It's mild. My favorite is called Lindy, and I don't know if they went out of business, but I believe they were a local company, and theirs was really the best, but I haven't been able to find it, so we'll go with the Taco Bell. Organic strawberries, kiwi. We do put kiwi in the smoothie in the morning. Organic lettuce, and I was very happy to see the quality. They're kind of smaller ones, but they look really good, so that's always nice. Got to have a cucumber, 2 more, what are these? Mangoes. My mind is blank. I've actually been trying to make this video this morning, and our power has gone off twice. And when I went to Walmart this morning about 9 o'clock, I did see some Edison trucks up the street, a lot of them, and so they're obviously doing something. So our power went off a couple times, and I do have a power bank. I could have plugged that in, but I wouldn't be able to run all the the big lights, and so had to wait. Anyway, back to this. 3 tomatoes, limes. I've been craving limes, so we'll do something with that. A dozen organic eggs. I prefer to get them at Sam's or Costco, but those were still a good price. I do have my prices here, but I don't think you need to hear the price of every single little thing. This is one of my treats, and I only drink this once in a while. It's blackberry lemonade. It's a sparkling water, but I like this in the evening. It's just very refreshing. It's a real treat to me. So milk, because we don't really drink milk in this house. Nobody drinks milk, and my husband uses almond milk. But when I'm baking, I like to have, just regular whole milk. The grandkids like to use whole milk for a few things also. And in a little bit, we're going to talk about my cornbread I made last week or 2 weeks ago, and why I needed this and why I had to buy cornmeal. It's over here. We'll get back to that. I've got these beautiful baby Bella sliced mushrooms. Not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. I was thinking either mushroom pasta or some sort of chicken with a mushroom sauce. We'll see. Organic spring mix for salads, and then a pineapple, and this was only $1 something. And if we don't eat all the pineapple up, you know, when it's still good, but you know, once we cut it up, I just stick it in the freezer for the smoothies. Organic bananas, and then we have these are Cosmic Crisp apples. I don't know if any of you have ever bought them. This was my second time, and they were very good. I usually get either Pink Ladies or Honeycrisp, but I tried this and it was delicious. And then some pears. So that is it, except for the rice that's not here. So that was $51.97. And what's nice with Walmart, their pricing for a pickup order is the same price as if you went in and went shopping. They don't up the price like Instacart does. And I've checked it before, and I watched a video from someone else recently, and she had actually put her Walmart order in, so she had it in her phone, but she didn't, you know, have it processed, but she had it all there, and she went in and bought the exact same ingredients, and it was the exact same amount. So that's good to know. Now let's talk a little bit about Azure Standard. I know I did a video recently on them, and I usually only order from them every 3 months, but I desperately needed a few of these items. I probably should have gotten them last month. I didn't. But now that there's a drop closer to us, it just, I don't mind ordering, you know, more often, which is nice because that kind of spreads out the budget. And so we're going to talk about budgeting at the end of when I show all of this to you. Excuse me. So I do have a few items here I have never ordered before, but we've got pecan pieces. These are raw, and I think this is 2 pounds. It's $2.52 a pound. So the price of this is $20.67. Now I normally buy it in the little bags, and it's $4.49 or so. I believe if I do my math right, this is a whole lot less. I hope so. And how I store it is I do keep it in the freezer, and I just put it in a big mason jar. I have a jar in the cupboard, and then I'll put the rest in another mason jar, but that's how we store it. Mung beans, I use these for sprouts, and I also cook that for my husband. Again, I keep it in jars. Here we've got 5 pounds of sea salt. This was $6.19. It's 5 pounds, 14 ounces. $6.19 a pound, but I like good sea salt, and theirs is very good. Now this is 5 pounds of chopped organic dates. I also keep this in a mason jar. I've put them in the freezer before, and they kind of compacted. I think I had put them in the sealer thing, and I'm not doing that again. I'll just keep them in jars. But we also put this on cereal. I put this in muffins, things like that. They're just delicious. All right, organic cornmeal. I made cornbread 2 weeks ago and used the same recipe I've been using for 30 years, and it was awful. It tasted terrible. I couldn't figure out what was wrong, and I went back and checked my cornmeal. I had two containers of cornmeal, and I had put them both in the Tupperware, and I didn't realize one had expired a year ago. I have no idea when. It probably was expired when I bought it, and then the other one had expired the previous month, and it tasted so bad. And so for this here, this is 5 pounds organic, $6.73. I don't mind paying that. I don't think it's any more expensive than buying regular cornmeal at the grocery store. And what I'm probably going to do with this is put some in a jar or Tupperware. I'm not sure how I'm going to store this, and the rest will go in the freezer because I do not want that to happen again. Having waste is unacceptable. I mean, you're just throwing money away, and I don't want to do that. And that's what we're going to talk about after we go over our oats. This is a 25-pound bag of organic oats, and they're the regular rolled oats. I don't get quick oats, I get regular rolled oats, and they're delicious. They're great. I store them in the back of the house in a 5-gallon bucket, and I have I think it's a 20 cup or a 10 cup Tupperware that I keep here in the kitchen. So my total for 6 items from Azure Standard was $100.44. And for these oats, this is, to me, it's a great price. It's 25 pounds of organic oats, $28.08. I'm fine with that. Yes, Costco does sell organic oats. So if you are not able to get to an Azure drop, buy it at Costco. But there are some things I feel like for our health, we need to have organic. And that's one of the things, because it's such a sprayed product. You know, they spray it with whatever they spray the crops with. That's not good for our bodies. And so I really like to have the organic if possible. Now, what I wanted to talk about was stocking our pantries. I'm very passionate about this. And when I had that cornbread disaster, you know, I went back and luckily I still had both containers that were in the trash, and I was able to check them. Yes, they were expired. That's such a waste. And I'm finding in my pantry, it's right over here, my kitchen pantry, there's items in there that we're not using. And a lot of them are things maybe I bought and thought we would use, or they're quick items, let's say. Not really packaged food. I don't buy that kind of thing too often. But I told my husband, I said, I'm going to clean out the pantry, take everything out, and we should do this once a year. Take everything out, wipe everything down, wash containers if we need to, check expiration dates, do all of that. But I'm going to be buying less things, let's say, just more of whole foods of what we really, really need. And I want to feed our family well and not be overspending and not lose money on things that we're not eating. You know, it's very easy to do with produce, especially. If we don't use all that produce up, it goes bad. We throw it away. Again, that's throwing money down the drain. And I do my best to use all the produce up. I'm not always perfect about it, but I try. But a lot of things I can freeze, like spinach. You can freeze raw spinach. Just put it in a Ziploc bag and throw it in the freezer. And you can use that for soups, or, you know, it's not the same as you can eat it raw, but you can still cook with it. But I'm really working on spending less on our budget. And as my husband's getting ready to retire, we decided this month we're going to play the game of living as if he was retired. And it was kind of a wake-up call, because normally I can go pretty much buy whatever I want at the grocery store. He has never said, oh, no, don't, you know, he always says, if you need it, buy it. And I do. And so this last month has been interesting. And he had told me to put a certain amount in savings, and I actually added an extra $500, and that surprised him. And so this week it was, oh, we only have so much money left until Friday. And I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about. You know, there comes a time you've got to buckle down. And he goes, wow, okay. And we had to go to Home Depot to buy a few things for the garden. And I said, well, I'm still going to get some food, but then we're laying low until Friday. And he goes, oh, I guess that's what happens when we really budget, because we're not used to being so strict about it. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's food insecurity, so I overspend on buying food. And then he's from another country, and so for him, when they moved here, he was 13 when they moved here. it was, wow, this is a whole new world of having grocery stores the way they do in the Philippines. It's not quite like that. It's getting that way now probably, but when he was young, they moved here in 1969. It was, it was, his mom really had a good time at the grocery store. And so he's always been, buy whatever you need. But I said, no, we got to start buckling down, and we have to live as if you're not working anymore. He only works part-time, but that's still, an extra. But my main point is we just really need to watch what we spend and what we buy. Cook more from whole food ingredients. I don't know if you can see over here, I got my mill out. Talking about cooking from whole food ingredients. This is my magic mill. I've talked about it before. It still works fine. I had to kind of wash it down today. And I'm going to run maybe some rice or something through here to make sure it's all cleaned out. And I've got some organic wheat here. I do make our bread, but I don't usually mill the wheat. But it's funny, when you go on YouTube, everybody's milling their wheat. It's a big thing now. I've been doing this for a long time, but I've kind of gotten a little bit lazy about it and just buying the flours. So again, for health reasons, I want to make sure we're getting as much nutrition as we can. And that's why I do what I do. Do I like cooking every single day? Actually, no, I don't. I don't like washing dishes. And especially when it's just my husband and I get a little bit lazy about it. And so I cook easier food, which is fine. He keeps telling me, just, make it easy. Don't put a lot of time and make a lot of dishes, and just, keep it simple. And keeping things simple is good for us, actually, when we just eat the whole ingredients, not making things so complicated. And that's my plan. So this week, I do plan on going through the pantry here, taking everything out. I'm hoping to bring you along for that. Not all of it. Nobody wants to sit there and watch me go through the pantry and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe it looks like that. It's not that bad, but there's nothing real sticky or anything like that. But I'm finding that I have way too much Tupperware, and I prefer the glass jars. And because with the glass jars, I can see through them, and I do better, I think, with less. And that's something I've been working around the whole house, just getting rid of stuff. I think about when we first got married, we didn't have much of anything and we were okay. We have way too much stuff now. And so same within the pantry. And I'm going to be cutting back a little bit on what I buy and start going back to more really doing things from scratch. And what I really missed this week was being able to go out and pick lettuce. I kept thinking, oh, I wish my lettuce was growing, because really all of this came from because I really needed lettuce and I didn't want to go in the store. So I went ahead and picked up, as long as you have over $35, you can do a pickup order. But I thought, wouldn't it be nice if the lettuce is really growing and I can go out there and just snip some off for our salad. So looking forward to that. I hope all of you are having a wonderful week. I'm not sure about you. Are you guys gardening yet? I hope so. We're enjoying it. It's something, this is the first year my husband's been very excited. He's been excited about, and that's because he's home more now. And it's been nice being out there with him, or him with me, however we want to look at it, and just talking about, oh, let's do this with the cucumbers. And it's fun planning. And I think sometimes that's what life is all about, spending time with our loved ones. And I can't wait for my little granddaughters to come see. We do have strawberries growing, and I'll say their mama has a way bigger garden than mine, about 4 times the size. I'm so proud of her, and those little ones are going to have so much fun. Anyway, friends, I hope you're having a great week. Each of you bless me. I'm hoping that I bless you, and we will come together again soon. I'm gonna try doing 2 videos a week. I'm working on it. Anyway, have a blessed week, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.